Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. After my last video, several people asked if I could do a video about using the wheel technique in arpeggios. It's taken a while to get to it, but that's what I'm doing today. The wheel is a really helpful way of getting your arpeggios smooth and even in a way that feels good for your arms in addition to sounding better. I'm going to assume for this that you already know what the wheel technique is. If not, you can go back and watch my previous videos. To recap the principle we're using in arpeggios, a long chain of notes moving in one direction on the keyboard can be thought of as a series of half wheels. So in a scale that looked like groups of 3 and 4 notes, and then you link those together. The first step to using the wheel technique in arpeggios is to know what exactly the wheel groups are. If you're going to play an arpeggio over 1 octave, then you have a 4-note group going up and down, and the directions are going to be down on the thumb, up on the pinky, and that results in under, over. The way I do this, the wrist is not going to be moving very much. It only bends a little bit. And the idea is to have a consistent connection from the forearm unit to the fingertip. Okay, once we add multiple octaves, then we're going to have mostly groups of 3 notes. In C major, it would start with this. Fingers 1, 2, 3 on the triad. So you can practice those groups going up and down. And then you can do several of those groups going up, a 4-note group at the top, and focus on the approach to each one, in which the thumb is going to come down and back to start the under portion of the wheel. I'll show this with the left hand so you can see it from this side. The thumb is going to be starting with a down and back motion to initiate the under portion of the wheel. In the pinky to thumb direction, the group starts with a movement going forward and up, which takes you over the keys. At the top in the 4-note group, you're doing it on the pinky, and then it's going to be on the 3. So up, forward and up, forward and up. In the left hand root position, that ends up being 4. Plays forward and up to take you over the keys. If it starts on a black key, of course that's going to displace what the actual groups are. Like for B flat major in the right hand, we're going to leave the first note out, or think of it individually, and then start the group on D. Or E flat major, A flat major is the same kind of thing. You can practice a long arpeggio with breaks in between the groups in order to focus on the approach to each one. Okay, to start putting it together, if you're playing an arpeggio at a medium to fast tempo, you won't be able to connect everything with a real legato, so you have to let go of the keys in between the groups, and we're going to find the right kind of transition between them to keep the wheel groups smooth. We need to set it up so that each group starts with the right motion. The thumb is going to come in this direction, so it's basically coming down and back with a bit of inward rotation in toward the body. So what we have to do is come off the previous group with the opposite of both of those movements. I get to the 4 and I'm coming forward with my forearm unit from the elbow, and I'm rotating outward, which sets up down and back with inward rotation on the thumb. Here it is in the right hand. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, And on the 3, I come forward over the keys and rotate outward. In the pinky to thumb direction, coming over the keys, there's actually less arm movement required because of the way that the thumb works. So when I'm crossing over the thumb can pivot under the hand more so than any of the other fingers can. So that's going to be useful to get the hand over. So we don't need as much in terms of in and out or rotation, but there's going to be just a little bit of coming back off of the thumb at the end of the group so that you can come forward again. Once you get used to these transitions between the groups, then you can kind of just focus on the beginning of each group and let your arm take over. There's kind of an intuitive physical intelligence that will set you up if you sort of see what you want in advance. So looking for the thumb coming down and back here. Your arm will find it if you've established the pattern that you need. If you have a black key or more than one black key in the arpeggio, you use the same movement, but the adjustments you have to make are with the position of the forearm unit being further in the keys mostly, and you also compensate with the shapes of the fingers, like in a D major or an E major. The G sharp is a black key, which is slightly higher, so you kind of extend your 3 further in, so it looks kind of like that. But basically the individual groups are a good guide. You can still play the individual group up and down, finding the smoothness in the movement, and then use that as a guide for your groups. If you have 2 black keys, like in an A flat major, then the whole hand is going to be a little higher over the black keys, and the thumb will compensate by being in a slightly taller position, I would call it. There are also adjustments to make according to the register that you're in, mostly when your hand is in front of your body or crossed over. So what you have to watch out for, like when the left hand is playing in a higher register, is you avoid twisting the wrist like that as much as you can, because playing the thumb in that register makes you want to twist, and that's a dangerous movement. So if I get to the top of this A flat major, I'm gonna get off the thumb quicker so that I don't get stuck in that twisted wrist position. I'm trying to preserve the alignment of the forearm unit as much as I can. So that means the whole forearm unit will be at more of an offset angle to the keys when I'm in a high register. And that would apply to the right hand if I'm in the low register. So I get right off the thumb, basically just tap it, and then let the forearm unit stay aligned. If you're playing over several octaves, it's also important to be mobile from the lower body because we need to cover a lot of distance. So balance your torso as you go. Your legs also help to keep your torso balanced. You probably can't see it on the video, but I'm moving my left foot and placing it differently according to where I am on the keyboard. That helps the torso stay balanced as you go. That's all for arpeggios today. Let me know if I missed anything or if you have any questions in the comments, as always. My next video is going to be about applying the wheel technique to scale and arpeggio passages in real pieces of music. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to know when that comes out. Hope to see you there.